We're so sorry that we scared you.
Yes, I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
And so we shifted the fireplace so it's no longer straight on to this wall. So it kind of goes down the shipping container, and that's making, I think, a pretty big difference today.
I feel like it is too, and there's a lot more space for us to move around as far as sitting around the fire when it's really chilly.
Well, and so this is pretty funny. We kind of shift around where the fire, if you're really cold, you sit directly in front of it, you get all the heat. And as you warm up, you just kind of shift. So I shift down the cot slash couch that's right here. And Kimmy's, she shifts back or
my chair moves a lot.
So funny. But I'm going to drink a
So let's see who's on here.
Diet King soda.
We got KJ Hastings and Kelly from My Little Idaho
Ooh,
Outfit.
hi guys.
Robert Bates, Priscilla with Backyard Homesteader.
Hi.
Miss Vicky.
All of our regulars.
Yeah.
Our super supporters. So what I'm actually going to do...
Colleen's on here too.
Hey, Colleen. What I'm actually going to do is go through our videos for this last week and just kind of answer some of the questions. Maybe more in detail than what I answered them on the actual video. So,
Hi, Alicia. Hi, Sil.
I think the last video, obviously we were confusing a lot of people what we were doing. I'm going to take my hair down because I was super hot and now I've cooled off. So
We go through that too. Hot flashes.
yeah, a lot of people have asked about us keeping the door open on the RV, and are we keeping the door open on the RV? And yes, we are. So the whole purpose of this pass through is literally to try to get heat from in here into the RV. There's two main reasons. One, easy access into the shipping container.
That way we don't have to go outside.
Get fully dressed in all of your outdoor gear, walk around through the snow, and then come in and work. And I kind of felt like if we were in here, if it was really easy to get in here, it would be really easy to get in here and work. Now I found that it's really easy to get in here and sit in front of the wood stove.
It's really easy to get in here and spread. We thought we were going to work in here and live in there.
Yeah.
But this is where the heat is predominantly. So.
Well, for now. So I think, so we don't have the floor insulated yet. And what else is not? And we don't have the skirting up yet. So I have an upcoming video on that, showing you guys the, what we've ended up finishing with. But so I also want to explain, because a lot of people were stressed that I left you with the cliffhanger of Kimmy falling, and then I showed other videos like everything was wonderful. And
Hi, Kathy.
the issue with that is I'm grabbing old footage that we just kind of filmed to see if we could throw it in somewhere. And hi Bradley. Sorry guys, I can't see you, and I'm looking at the comments on the video, so I can't really see. So
That's what you got me.
yeah. So I'm saying hi when she says hi. So oh shoot, I forgot what I was saying.
So leaving the cliffhanger with my.
Oh yeah, so this footage that we had of taking the the dog and going and getting the new generator, that was all stuff that we just filmed, that if we needed to add to a video, then we had footage to add to a video. So that actually happens, and then sometimes we have enough really good footage of the build and we don't need it, and so we don't use it. So this has been kind of
And
fun.
especially since now we're doing the 30 days in December,
Yeah.
we need to have that content because we're limited with the amount of daylight that we have and attempts outside
Yeah.
with how much we can crank out in a day as far as footage.
Yeah. Exactly. So
Hi, Joyce.
that's
My mama.
Hi, Mama. let's see. So one of the things that has come up a couple of times, and Eddie, I'm not even gonna attempt your last name, Eddie, because I will butcher it. He had mentioned, and this was mentioned a couple times from a couple different people, that if you had started at the lowest point, the camper, and used 2 steps at the container, everything would have been much simpler. And you're probably not wrong on that. We were going for getting this put up very quickly, and we've been trying to decide, or I mean, I guess I have, because ultimately it's my decision, if we wanted an 8-foot wraparound deck or a 10-foot wraparound deck. And so I wanted the pathway. The reason why it's so wide is we're storing things in there, like our tools and stuff that's going to be put up or whatever, because we're trying to keep the shipping container as clear as possible so that we can work in here without playing the shifting everything game. We know how much you guys love that.
And we love it too, honestly.
So we do basically have a walking path through there, and then we have a bunch of stuff stored off to one side. So having it that wide, and you know, I thought we would have more room in between the deck and the RV, but we didn't have the deck up before we moved the RV, so we couldn't really judge that. So it was kind of a guesstimate. We moved the RV at it was like dusk. It was getting dark very quickly, so it was just, this looks like a good spot, and then we had to work with what we had. So
We have a couple questions.
Okay.
Are you going to show us?
I am. I have an upcoming video. I just filmed it today, and I think that is Friday's video.
Is the heat getting to the RV?
Some of it is.
Yeah. It's taking down the chill in there, for sure, because at night I read, and my fingers and nose don't get cold, so it's definitely helping. And, you know, blankets.
Right now I'm sleeping in here, and I feed the fire all night long. One, because I wake up a lot already all night long, and so it's easier for me to just be in here and not try to walk back and forth and get the dogs all excited, and you know, RVs move when you walk in them, and wake up Kim, and so it's just easier for me to sleep in here, and then I just feed it. So I've got, right behind you guys is a big stack of firewood. I've got some logs right here that I'll be putting in, so that we're ready. And I really like it tilted this way. I feel like we have so much more space for stuff.
Another question is, I don't know, there's a happy birthday thing. I missed something. Another question, how's the foot, ankle, still sore, I bet? That was actually a month ago.
Yeah.
And literally, I think the fact that my boots are a little bit big and that I have somebody watching over me, I just bruised. And it was uncomfortable for probably a couple weeks to put my boots on and off. But other than that, it was minor, just minor bruises.
So that was the day after we stood all posts on the barn.
We were exhausted.
So yeah, we could hardly lift our arms up like over our heads, and so yeah, that was.
And we both had shoulder issues.
Yeah.
You hear me talking about my shoulder in the video, but she also had a shoulder issue at the time. I think we're fighting a little bit about whose was worse.
Oh, hers was totally
because
worse.
I kept saying. Mine's not worse. Yes, it is. And I said, mine's not worse.
It's totally worse. It's totally worse.
So I was like, no, yours is worse. And so there's that. But
it's so funny. So a lot of people were really worried or stressed or whatever about the RV door not shutting. That was probably our biggest comment this week of, are you going to be able to shut the door? You got to shut the door, like all this stuff.
I have to say I was stressed a little bit at first too, like
That
that first day or two. Like,
Yeah.
But
Well, because the first night we slept with it open, and we hadn't closed up the
Nope,
roof. The roof was still,
Yep.
the pallets, were the pallets up there
Yeah,
yet?
the pallets were
Okay.
up there, we just didn't have, and we had the sides up,
Yeah,
but we didn't have it totally closed.
closed in, yeah. So that was, so we've got pallets up there, and on the outside, we have 2 layers of OSB, so the OSB goes one direction, and then it goes the other direction. And then on the inside, we have the foam insulation, the foam board, that pink foam board.
Hi, Randy.
So,
Mr. Benton is on here.
hi, Randy.
R&D Benton
And
Old
Darla,
Homestead.
both.
Well, yeah.
So, that
Hi,
was
Susan.
that's kind of like the, people really were worried or stressed out or whatever, and that we should notch around the steps and be able to close the door. But again, the main point of having this pass through, which we discussed so much last year, so I didn't really go into detail because I just assume all the same people are here.
Thank you, Robert, for watching out for those trolls. I appreciate
Yes. Is to get the heat from here to there. And this wood stove is for 2,000 square feet. And the shipping container, I think we're right at like 550 with everything in the shipping container. And then, so we have more than enough that it should be going. And I truly believe the reason why it's not is because the floor is uninsulated. So we get to insulate the floor in the teens. The temperature is dropping to the teens. We're supposed to get 3 to 6 more inches of snow.
To be fair,
Thursday.
we were sick, and then we were waiting for it to hopefully warm up,
Yeah.
and it didn't.
We really thought that we were going to have this little cold spell in the teens for a week or two, and then it would go away. It is not.
Because this was not how it was last year for sure. So Vicky's needs some clarification. She's trying to figure out how do you get in from the container, and I'm guessing she's asking how the RV in the container. So
the
sliding
the
glass.
sliding
door.
glass door opens, and you walk in the passway, and you go into the RV. And so our main door that we're using is our door to the tiny house.
Yeah.
So it's just like if we were living here.
It's our back door,
Yeah.
or
I mean, yeah.
it would be our front door because
Yeah.
our sliding glass door is technically your back, but
Right. But we're all backwards.
yeah.
Um,
Whose birthday is it? Okay, I've missed something.
somebody's birthday. Whose is it?
Somebody shout out. I missed it.
So KJ Hastings posted, not to sound critical. I don't feel like you're critical. I feel like you're one of us, and you're just asking questions.
And she's
You're
on here.
totally fine all the time. Or a backseat driver, couch constructor, which I thought was funny. But is there a reason the deck is so long on the container side, and there weren't several small steps up to it? That way the RV door can close. I guess the biggest answer to that was we put the RV on before we had the deck. And that really was not our intention. Our intention was getting the deck part done and then getting the RV moved. But I had an opportunity. My son was up here, and I was like, can you move the RV for us? And he was like, yeah. And so it basically, on his terms and his time frame, when someone's helping you, you work on their time frame, not yours. And so he had a break in his schedule and was able to come up and move it really quick. And was that like 2 days before we started building the deck? Yeah, so it was like 2 days before we started building the deck. So that
Bradley, you're really funny. He says, Kimmy, did you finish picking up all those screws that you threw all over the place? No, there's still a whole bunch under the deck.
I got a lot of them. I crawled
She
under there.
did. I was pretty bruised and pretty sore, but she sure did. She got them picked up. But there's still a fair amount kind of scattered.
Yeah. Another big thing that was brought up is, why don't we just raise the level of the RV to the level of the shipping container? And I don't know. I mean, Kelly was here, so she knows. I was so stressed out about jacking just that one side because we were really tilted, and we had to jack up the RV and put blocks underneath it, and that stressed me out a lot. So a couple of reasons. So actually a great idea. It would have been really cool to have it just one, would have made life a lot easier. So you're not wrong when that comment's brought up by a couple of people. But I did not feel safe doing it. I don't know how safe I would have felt walking around in it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a thing that they do. We didn't have.
Kelly says she can't imagine it going any higher either.
Yeah, it was sketchy. It was pretty sketchy.
Thank you, Tiffany.
We would have had to have blocks on both ends, and we just did not have that. So
Did it not?
we did not.
We did not.
We did not.
I still didn't get an answer to whose birthday it was and why we're singing happy birthday. So if
I feel like it's Courtney's birthday, so it's her and
so my daughter and my son both have birthdays 3 days apart from each other. So today is my daughter's 22nd birthday. But I wanted to know who shared a birthday with her. You know, it's a special,
exactly.
a special thing.
I did get yelled at for not having steel-toed boots or loggers chaps. I'm sure is what he was trying to say. I'm sure his auto correct is the same big jerk that mine is when using the chainsaw, and wanted to know how distant is the medical assistant. And I said, well, Kimmy's a nurse.
Well, I'm a medical assistant. But yeah. What's for dinner? We're having homemade pizza.
Yeah.
We're taking old pizza that we got from
old pizza.
What's it called?
Old crusty pizza from Domino's.
Domino's, and we throw it on the wood stove on aluminum foil, and it's crusty and delicious.
I don't even use the aluminum foil. I just put it straight on there. You get a little bit of soot. It's all good. Builds up your immune system.
The reason I don't is because that way the cheese doesn't melt all over the top of the wood stove.
Mine hasn't done that though.
I like it on there.
You like it a lot hotter than I do.
Randy says to make it the same level, you would need to be a platform, not blocks.
Yeah,
It's too high
I
for
agree.
a jack and blocks.
I totally agree with that.
Wade, hey Wade.
Hi, Wade. There's another one. Are we gonna? A lot of you were mad I showed the clip again. It was traumatic. It was traumatic editing it. It was traumatic seeing it happen when it happened, and then editing it and having to watch it. She's across from me, and I'm editing it. I'm like every time. Oh,
And I hadn't seen it.
No.
I mean, I had experienced it, but I had not seen it. So I was like, what is that? And she's like, I'm editing where you fell. And I was like, oh. And so I went over and I looked at it. I was like, that looks terrible.
It's like awful.
I was like, that. And then it said to be continued. I was like, wow.
You're mean. Yep. Let's see. Trying to find a different video.
Thank you, Mary, for answering my question. There was no mention of whose birthday it was. He just said, let's all sing happy birthday.
Oh, okay. So there was quite a few on today's video with the Harbor Freight, and a lot of people were ticked off that they do a restocking fee, and I completely agree.
I did too.
The one guy that we were talking to was the manager, but he wasn't there when we went back, and he was like, go test this one, see if it works. I won't charge you the restocking fee. We'll just swap it out. It'll be fine. Well, not swap it out. We'd have to pay the extra, but and then he wasn't there, and then we got that other guy.
So I have to say, so we, not to say that she's a bad cop, but
Terrible cop.
we play bad cop, good cop.
Yeah.
Not on purpose. It's just our nature. She's a
Yeah.
little bit more assertive than I am. I'm a lot more peaceful. Well, at Harbor Freight, I got fired up, and I was like, no. Like my MP voice came out, and I was like, no, this is not right. You know, this is shady.
That's when we went to the one in Ponderay.
Yes. Yes. We
was,
did not like how they treated us there. They kept dropping the manager.
It was the switch and bait.
Uh-huh.
It was they just kept switching people, and then we'd have to, and they'd come in. Okay, what are you doing?
The manager left and
Two
went
of
to
the
lunch.
managers.
The first manager clocked out and went to lunch, and we were like,
And he was
What
being
the heck?
super sneaky. He's like,
I'm going to lunch. And I was like, he did not
Just
just leave. I was like, what just happened?
and I told the guys, I'm like, you guys are doing the switch and bait, and it's pissing me off. Like, you need to knock it off. You just need to handle this Because like she was losing it. I'm like, she gonna shank somebody. So I better like take over. But it was, you know, I understand having to pay the price difference in the next size up. But then again, if they don't have what's available and you have the warranty, maybe they should suck it up. Who thinks they should suck it up if you have the warranty?
I seriously think what they do is they don't stock it on purpose. They make it super cheap when it's like they are almost out, and then they stock it up, and you either have to go up a big size and pay more money, or you have to go down, and
it just didn't do what we needed it to do.
I was like, yeah.
And I really like this size of
Hi Jan.
Hi Jan. I really like this size of generator. What we have is we have an extension cord that's plugged into the RV, and it comes up in here, and then we can plug things in and charge our stuff. And like our computers can't be out in that cold, so they stay in here. And
Wade says, why don't you buy at Home Depot and that
the
Lowe's, because they're more expensive?
That's the biggest reason is money. And I had bought a big Champion generator. I have a big Champion generator. It's the dual, so you can use propane or gas. It got 10 hours off of a 5-gallon tank, and it ran everything, the air conditioner, the heater, like all those things. But it was very expensive to run, and it broke. And I went to a generator place to get it fixed, and they're like, we don't work on Champions, they're crap. And so that was at Tractor Supply, and I spent a lot of money on that one.
And we found out about the warranties over at Harbor Freight, so we were like, this is a great deal.
We actually talked to Sean, because he's a friend of ours, and so
we're like, that's a great deal, this whole warranty
yeah,
thing.
if we can just return it, if it breaks and we return it, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You get a new warranty every time you return it, so you've got a new warranty on it. And it's just literally not a big deal.
Hi, Diane.
Hi, Diane.
Hi, Tim.
And so, hi, Tim. And Tim's wife. Hi, Tim's wife. I'm assuming she watches this.
There's another question.
Okay.
Tim says, when the fire goes out, how long does the container retain heat?
Not very long at all. Not very long at all. So, I have not actually been leaving unless I have to go in and upload. So, Kim's kind of ran errands or, done that kind of thing, because when the fire goes completely out, if it is 18 degrees outside, it is 18 degrees inside, and it's pretty quick, and it takes about 5 hours to heat it all back up again. I'm gonna have to go take off my undershirt because I'm getting really hot, and it's like a super warm one, so I'll be right back.
That is fine.
Oh, now you guys are gonna see me be an old lady. Watch out, Chloe. Ouch.
John says that's exactly why they buy from Harbor Freight, because of the warranty. It is a good deal if they don't play those games with that, restocking fee. If it's broke, they're not going to be restocking it. That's my opinion. If it is broken, it is broken. You cannot restock it. So you might as well just give us a new one and take that restocking fee off. It's ridiculous. Thank you to our moderators. I know you guys do a lot of good work, making sure that people are reminded about the thumbs up button and also taking care of the trolls. So I greatly appreciate you guys. Let's see, any other questions that I missed? So right now we have the sliding glass door shut. So the RV is like outside temperatures. So we have to go in there to change clothes, and it's like literally standing in a freezer to change. It's crazy.
That's why I went in the living room.
There's been days that we've taken our jeans out here and set them on the wood stove so they get nice and warm, like that fresh iron, and then put them on.
That's true. That is true.
Bob says,
what?
Heather has her hair down, so she's done working for the
I am totally done working for.
What is for dinner? Meatloaf and mashed potatoes here. Well, I said we're gonna just warm up.
Is that
some
Darla's meatloaf?
Pizza. No, this is Bob.
Oh, best
Bob's.
meatloaf I've ever had.
Okay, I
in my
have to
life.
say, since we're on the subject of that, I've never had a meatloaf that I've liked. And
She
Darla
hasn't.
made meatloaf one day, and I was like, "Oh
She's
no!"
like, we're gonna meet.
But I'm gonna be nice and I'll eat it. And oh my
best.
word, that is amazing.
I love meatloaf, and that was the best.
It was the best meatloaf I've ever had.
ever. So if Darla ever says she's gonna cook for you, take her up on it.
Tiffany says making Vicky behave is a whole job in itself.
That really
I
is.
thanked our mods. Why?
I heard you. I was in the living room.
Good.
A lot of people asked if we were putting a roof on and enclosing it too. Yes, we did. I think I already said that. I really, we just confused everybody is what happened. It was confusing. Again, I just kind of thought I thought we had the same people. We explained it so much. What do you need, Chloe? What are you begging her for?
Just want some loves, yeah.
She's like, no, I
You
won't go
want me to
outside.
rub your belly?
I won't go outside. Something.
I just took you
happening.
guys out there. Seriously, both of you.
So we ended up getting, like 17 inches of snow in that one snowstorm. So we've got, I would say, 2 feet definitely, here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bob, you had me at sourdough.
Oh, I love sourdough.
He put sourdough in it, bread it as bread for his meatloaf.
It's a good idea.
Mhm.
Was it like older, little bit older sourdough that you toasted and made like croutons and then put it
We're
in?
talking about food again.
This is why.
Bob, you're fired. It's been snowing for 3 days in Montana, Wade says.
Oh no, we're
Okay.
supposed to get some more on Thursday. 3 to 6 inches is what my son said.
Tim has a question about the spray foam.
Okay,
Do you think the spray foam on the walls is worth it?
I do.
Absolutely.
I really like it. Now, mind you, we only put about an inch on because we were planning on doing the electrical in between. So it was like put on an inch, throw our electrical in, fill in the rest of it so that it's sandwiched in the walls. We're kind of
Talking about some alternatives.
talking about some alternatives so that we can go ahead and start purchasing some more and finishing the spray foam because we're going through our firewood really fast. One, because we're keeping it going 24/7, and we bought an emergency little buddy, a bigger one,
A big buddy.
so that when we leave, we can run heat so it doesn't get super cold in here. But that's really expensive to do. And so we're going to kind of figure something out. We have, 5 months, 6 months of winter here? Definitely 5.
Up till March, end of March,
Yeah.
right?
So November, December, January, February, March. That's 5. 5 probably for this year. A lot of times it's October. It comes in October. So, we won't have enough firewood.
And part of the problem with the firewood is I've never done wood before.
Me neither.
And
It's the first time.
and so when splitting, originally we deferred to Kira, who's had a ton of experience, and bless your heart, Kira, if you're on here. But that wood was so small, a lot of
She
time,
made a lot of kindling.
it just kind of burned. We're burning through it.
So it was probably 3 cords of almost kindling.
Yeah, it was
Really?
the smaller wedges. They're like like that big, but
Well, and there were a lot of
like the rounds.
rounds.
If we could have just cut them in half instead of quartered them,
no. Well, she had some that were, but if they were this big, not cutting them at all,
right?
keeping them as rounds. There were a lot of rounds that were either quartered or cut in half that should have been left. So lesson learned.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure she just was having a good time on the splitter,
But now
and
we know.
not really thinking. Now we know. But when we did it, when we borrowed Colleen and Virgil's log splitter, we split some really good big ones. So we have probably 3 cords, but that's not enough. So we have some trees down, and we have some that are down that are dried. We have some standing dead that are dried that we're gonna drop and start going. But we have I feel like we definitely have enough for this month. Probably this month and next month. So it'll be February and March.
We have a question. How much was the Big Buddy?
$150. It ended up being the Big Buddy was $150 without tax. So it ended up being, and then we had to buy another hose to connect the second bigger tank. So it's 2 tanks on each side. So we ended up spending about
175.
Well, no, the cord itself was 23.
Oh,
So
almost 2.
it was a little over
With taxes.
200. I think it was like 230 something by the time I finished. So
Tim said, "Can you close off part of the container so to reduce the heating area?" We have been doing that with the RV,
yeah,
cutting that off.
we closed the slider basically all day long, and then we open it at night so that the heat can get over there.
Which we've been talking about, me coming and sleeping over here. I just,
The
you know,
treehouse is really nice.
yeah, we don't necessarily want to sleep right next to each other. That's just
I
weird.
move a lot. I get up a lot.
She's an early bird. I
yeah.
go a little bit later to sleep, and she gets up really early,
I
and I
do.
sleep in a little bit. So, so there's a lot of those kinds of things. But yeah, I'm gonna try to sleep upstairs and see how that goes, so that hopefully we can reduce.
Yeah, and I mean it's really nice up there. We've gone up. There's still the ladder. We still have the ladder. The metal ladder, construction ladder, not an
I just
actual.
hope I don't fall down in the middle of the night when I have to pee.
You need to take a bucket up there. Take the spare bucket up there. Then you don't have to come down. But, I mean, it was in single digits last week up here, and it was nice up there. It was very comfortable.
Vicky said there's a connection so you can use a standard propane tank. Yes,
Yes.
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a hose. You just buy a hose, and it connects on, and then it goes over to your tank.
We want to thank all of you that are new to the channel.
Yeah.
We have noticed that we've had some growth as far as our subscribers, and we greatly appreciate it.
So excited.
We also appreciate all of you guys that have been there with us from the beginning. So
Yes.
thanks for sticking with us.
That's actually really exciting because there's a lot of people who watch, but they never comment.
Yeah.
And so when we hit 6,000, we had quite a few people that were like, I've been watching since the beginning, and like we'd never seen a comment from
Yeah.
them. So that was really fun to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So quite a few people were confused about us not living here in the shipping container, and the whole reason we don't want to, we're doing it because you got to survive, is we don't want to be living in where we're working.
Yeah. Who likes living in a construction site?
Well, and we wasted a lot of time last year shifting things, and if we're living in here, we use this as a couch. We've got kind of a little mock kitchen set up over there with our coffee stuff, so we can just make coffee and drinks and tea and whatever over here. But we're trying to keep that section as just clear, open as possible so that we can build the bedroom, build out the bathroom, and do those things and not have a bunch of stuff in the way and have to shift everything and all that good stuff. So that's kind of that question came up quite a few times.
Randy, you're not wrong. We do need small round night logs. We do have a fair amount, but obviously not enough to get us by all winter. So we do have that dead tree. We're gonna cut that down, and that'll be round logs. So that'll be helpful.
Yeah, and next year, eventually at some point this winter, we're gonna go drop some trees for next year's. We really are also debating on getting a pellet stove for in here, because then when we could leave and you would have the pellet stove going, and it does take electricity to run, but I don't know how much electricity. So we'll have to, maybe kind of look at that and see, because I do want to get a smaller one so it's not so invasive to the space. This one's really big. It's pretty invasive.
And this one really isn't for in here anyway.
No.
She bought it for the
The shop.
shop, so
Mhm.
the shop garage.
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, because I think I'm gonna the barndominium, when that goes in, I should be able to afford a boiler. So, we'll do the heated floors and kind of all that stuff, and it'll all be outside.
Kelly said she needs to get us some red fur so it'll burn all night long.
Heck yeah, girl. Good.
Heck yeah,
We'll
we
take
won't
it.
turn that down.
We wouldn't fight you.
Darla wants to know if you need paper to start your fire. She saved a whole bag of newspaper.
So the boys, the grandsons, and I went and picked up pine cones early in the spring last year. So we have a big bag of pine cones, and that's actually what I start it with. So I take a couple of those out and I put them in there, and then the dogs like to chew up the firewood. So when I sweep up their stuff, and so I put that in there, and that's been working really, really well. One night we, because I'm learning how this sucker works, and I've heard that every kind of wood stove is just a little bit different. So we've been, I think, on like day 3 of it not being put out. So there were a lot of coals. I do have it where it can fall through into the drawer and to help with that, but it got clogged, and so we weren't getting airflow. So we smoked it out again. So it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had to let it cool. I had to let it kind of go out, and then I opened up all the windows, and then I was digging out a bunch of the coals, trying to get that unstuck. And we have this really short shovel, so you're like hands on fire. You can't do very much with it. Like, you have to do really fast and then wait and let your hand cool off. And so I got like half of all the coals out, and then got to spread it all out and got that fixed, and then restart it back up and re-get it going.
One of these will get the whole kit that has the big poker stick and the longer shovel.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of help. Okay, some advice.
Okay.
Never say no to free newspaper. And a boiler can be a money pit if you don't install it correctly.
Yeah, I think I would absolutely have the company install it. I don't feel like I would
Hi, Cher.
would do that. Hi, Cher. I'm going to tell you the hardest thing. So I'm a hardcore prepper.
Hi, Ty with Quality of Life.
Hi, Ty. So I have been a prepper since I got out of the service, and I have always had about 3 years worth of stuff. Toothpaste, soap, all the things, shampoo, like all the things.
And I've been preppy since I got out of the service.
There is no space to store anything here. So it goes against my core being to be like, no, I don't need that. Or because I'm a prepper and I'm like, that's something and I've had a farm. So on a farm, you keep a lot of things that most people don't keep because you reuse a lot of stuff. So I've really had to, truly just be like, I can't take the things because I have nowhere to put the things. So
Ty says he has 2 lifetimes of projects. Does that count?
Us too.
And no dancing on pallets. Well, dancing didn't cause the problem. The walking did. To be fair.
The walking and turning.
Let's see.
We got those pallets from Jeremy and Angela. Living the Dream Homestead. I was trying, my brain. He's actually selling them, and so I really think we might end up getting some more and doing the deck all the way around with them. I think it was really pretty simple to get.
Yeah, I mean, like, basically you make that frame and you fit them in the frame, and yeah, it was actually pretty good.
So I think
as you guys saw, those that have watched it, the biggest challenge was getting the pallets up on top of the other ones,
which we wouldn't be doing. It wouldn't be a covered deck. Now, most likely right here in front of the sliding glass door, we will end up extending and having that particular spot covered so that there's one covered spot.
But it won't be pallets.
It won't be pallets. No, it'll be a real roof. And then the rest of it won't have a roof on it.
You could just cover the frame with milled lumber. Well, we could, except for we're milling for a barn.
Yeah, everything that
So-
we're milling right now is for the barn. It's not for anything else.
Exactly.
You know, that's the issue. If you don't, you can get so carried away that you don't get any projects done, and that's happened. And so we're being very, what's the word?
Careful?
On purpose about what we're milling, how we're milling it, what it's for. You know, there's a few pieces that we're going to use for shelves, and they were kind of, it was like, okay, this will be a good shelf, you know, that kind of stuff. But
He said once the barn is done, then you could mill flooring for the deck. And I think that's probably going to be the
that's
plan.
probably the plan, yeah.
Do you mill when it's below freezing? Ty wants to know. I don't usually, mainly because I'm a pansy.
Same, my brother from another mother. I am a big pansy.
It's not so bad if there's no snow on the ground, honestly, because we do like a fire pit wherever
Mhm.
we're working.
Yeah.
So as long as you can take breaks and go warm up your hands and feet, then get back to it. And we find that doing like 15 minutes and then 15 minutes, you know,
Yeah.
you warm up, you work.
You don't get a huge amount done because you're not just working. But for us, it's actually really good because, like I said, we were causing some physical injuries.
Yeah.
So,
Susie wants to know if you have to cover your mill. Hi, Susie.
yes, you do. I didn't last year. Actually, I did, and then the tarp got blown off, and I didn't go back and get it covered, and that's why we had so many issues at the beginning of this year. And we had to change out the key
Box.
thing.
Yes.
Sorry, Randy. Because it was rusted and there was some rust in that, and that's literally what caused all of our major
Hi,
problems.
Kira.
So a lot of people were very excited about Missy, the dog that we found. I do have quite a bit more footage that will probably go into another video. I want to explain because I think we've kind of confused people with the 30-day 30 videos in 30 days. Mondays and Fridays are our normal videos that we put out. The rest of the week are little snippets from other times or whatever, and eventually I'm actually I think tomorrow's is about asking some advice. I'm asking you guys some advice on an issue that we're having, and you know, I just that was some old footage, and I was able to use it and put it in these little shorts, so that was a lot of fun. So and that all that was basically filmed a month ago. So
Bye, Heather.
bye, Heather. So we're getting closer to more very current stuff that's happening right now. So. But Missy was very sweet. She's a little old lady, and she was very vocal.
Hi, Bernard. Welcome back.
Hi, Bernard. The chimney, we did purchase the creosote powder, so we've got that we're throwing in, you know, every few times that we do it or whatever.
Anna's here. She's listening to math while
Oh.
she's doing math while she's listening to us.
Look at you party goer. So, and the biggest thing that's happening is they put those mesh things on that are for sparks to not get out. And I've had a lot of people say to just take it off because they're always a problem. So I'm kind of really glad to hear that that's not just us and user error, because we definitely know some of it is user error because we've never done a wood stove before, but we were over stuffing it there for a while, which made it burn really slow, which, you know, if it burns at 200, you'll create more creosote.
Question: how often are we sweeping the chimney?
I go up there and smack it around a little every now and then, every couple of days. And it knocks it all down.
Fireman Bob says, how often are you doing that?
I literally, if it's not polling well, I go up there and I do it. And it knocks all of that off and
And we
opens it all
have
back up.
we have on the bottom the trap to open it up. So it
Yeah.
it falls down, and it falls down away from, so it's
Yeah.
not building up in there.
A lot of people asked about the ankle and the leg from the fall. You've already kind of covered that.
I'm doing good. I was really, really lucky.
I actually thought there was bones sticking out. Like, I was like, oh, she broke it. She totally broke it. Everybody else thought the same thing.
You see me hesitate because I kind of had a little bit of pain everywhere, and I was trying to assess where it was hurting the most before I could move. So, but yeah, I'm good. It really was pretty minor.
But very traumatic to watch. I was
like I said,
so
I got
traumatic.
somebody looking out for me.
I'm just kind of going back on this week's and looking for.
Hi, Kevinator.
I'm not ignoring you guys. Hi, Kevinator. I'm trying to find some of these questions.
That's why I'm throwing them out to her as they come out. So if you guys have questions, keep throwing them out to
throw
me.
them out. Throw them out.
90-degree ankle didn't look good.
It did
Thankfully, I
not.
had a bigger size boots, and I had some movement in there, so it was fine.
It's kind of a pro tip.
Yeah. I mean, and the funny thing is, they're not super big because it's still a little bit of tight trying to get it on, but there's movement in there, so I really do think I'm just blessed. That's all I can say.
There were a couple of questions if we are going to continue working on the barn. That literally was the plan. The last 2 winters we would have been able to work through, and we did work through. This winter it is bitter cold, and I personally get very, very cold, so I'm not going to work in the teens.
And we were lied to because we were told.
We're lied to.
We were told
Stupid
by
Weather Channel.
the weather and the Farmer's Almanac, and that it was going to be a dry summer or
Cold but dry.
cold but dry winter, and we
Yes.
were like, we totally can do that.
Yeah.
As long as there's not snow on the ground, we totally can be out there milling. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But
Well, I went out there this morning and the logs
Thank you,
are
Tiffany.
frozen solid, which you can get a blade for milling frozen logs. So you can get a blade for that. But
Blade.
they're covered in 2 feet of snow.
Yep.
So we also have some trees, firewood trees that we're gonna have to go dig out.
Yay,
Try and
good
move.
times.
It's exciting. And cut those up and get those thawed out and
wait, the thing is, okay, so the area that we live in on the top of the mountain, around us gets all the snow. We don't usually get a whole lot. We get a little bit, and then usually it melts off.
we're in a microclimate here.
So when people say, "Oh, a lot of snow's coming," we've anticipated in the past that it was coming, and it didn't. And so this time,
Everybody else gets 8 inches, we get an inch.
this time when everybody's like, "Oh, this thing's coming," we're like, "Yeah, we
Yeah. We'll
hear
be
you."
fine.
but-
We'll probably get 2 inches, it'll be
So
fine.
the fact that we got 2 feet was, a little bit unexpected.
Right.
We were prepared, mostly,
Yeah.
we just ran out of water, but it's totally fine because there's snow outside. So
Well, and there's clean snow on things,
Uh-huh.
so we were able to go out and get that. There's a lot of people saying that. We laughed so hard. Kim gets this big container and goes out and fills it. It's like she comes
there's
in.
a
it's like-
plastic tub.
It's like overflowing with snow, and she brings it in, and we've got this big pot on the wood stove, and she puts it all in there, and there was like a 1/4 of an inch of water.
After the big tub,
Yeah.
it was not even a full kettle full. So.
No,
But
yeah.
you know what?
We had all day. We were trapped up here.
But people were suggesting, that's how you can make bath water,
Go
and
to.
we were like,
So, I mean, I have a story. When we moved to Texas, our very first winter there, so I was 14, we got snow.
Hi, CNC Farms.
We got snow. All the water pipes froze everywhere, everybody's, because, we just don't usually get that kind of weather. And so it was Christmas time. And so my mom literally went out and collected snow for hours, melting snow. She had all these pots going, and I'm gonna say filled up, but she didn't. There was like this much bath water, so it was a lot of snow that she made into that.
Hi, my sister lining.
So that we can all take, you
Sorry,
know,
my silver lining.
little
Oh my God.
showers, little baths, and get clean because we had no power, and we had no water for 7 days in Texas, and it was crazy.
Let's see. Silver lining is new.
Hi,
Welcome. CNC Farm. I don't remember seeing you on here before, so I'm guessing
I
you're
think
new
you
as
did
well.
the pasta challenge.
So welcome.
I think so.
Oh, we got
Yes, yeah.
Brenda and Matt. Jason
Hi. Oh, we missed you guys.
Hi guys, we do. We so miss you. Darn weather messing up plans, Brenda says.
Exactly.
Yep.
I'm gonna throw a little log.
That is the
Throw
truth.
another log on
Is your
the
lake
fire.
frozen over yet?
I don't know. I didn't see any fishermen out there today. I was kind of looking.
So today it looked like you couldn't see the water. It looked like snow
Yeah, it
over
looked
it.
like snow.
So my guess is it is.
It looked like snow, but again, those ice fishers, they get out there as soon as they can, and I didn't see them. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything. I just didn't see them.
Yeah. Where did you live in Texas? Susie wants to know.
So when I was 14, we moved to Greenville, Texas, which is about 2 hours.
Isn't that pronounced Greenville?
Greenville. I know I've been gone a long time.
Greenville.
Greenville. It's the
That's
Vol.
it. That's it.
If
the
you
Vol.
don't do Ville, you do Vol.
It's the Vol.
So we were in Greenville for now there it is. Bam.
I was like, you're pronouncing it wrong.
And just like that. So we were in Greenville, and then I left and went in the military. When I got back from the military, I moved to Klondike, which was even farther east. Little bitty tiny town, you know, kind of like a bank and a post office, and that's all you had. And then I moved to Royce City, and I had a farm there. That is closer to Dallas. And then I lived there for like 8 years, and then I moved to near Austin, Lampasas, to be closer to my cousin and family and stuff. And then I left there and came to Washington.
Bernard, I'm not sure I understand your question. So, do you guys have plain food to eat and the firewood? So,
Well, we do have plenty, probably plenty of food.
Okay.
We did. We went and
Gotcha.
bought a big sack of potatoes and some onions and some carrots and celery, and so we can make soup. We processed our pig, so we've got sausage and brats and.
That's been our like main staple
Yeah.
for breakfast every day. Is we do a couple potatoes and we do half a pound of sausage and
Yeah.
man, it's
So
delicious
good.
on the wood stove.
And then you're not hungry until dinner, really.
It's really good.
It's so filling. So yeah, and then we picked up some bread, and we're not doing our keto. We just can't.
Well,
and
keto's a little more expensive.
And we feel awful, actually. We don't feel well.
No.
We don't feel as good as we did when we're doing keto. So as soon as we can, we're getting back on it.
Yeah, but the bread is a stretcher because we can make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches when we're
That's
hungry.
what I had for dinner.
We have plenty of soups.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we bought a bunch of soups that you can just add to it,
Bacon.
and then whatever.
Brenda
So-
says bacon.
Right. Yum. Oh, I could get on here and look at mine now too, so you can continue to look at
Are
the
you
top
still
of my
getting
head.
eggs? No.
No.
They've stopped producing eggs, and we're actually in the process. Colleen just took some of the chickens, and I think we have Darcy, our other friend, that might take some more of our girls, and maybe our handsome rooster, the one that's
We have a
nice.
really handsome rooster.
He is so nice. He is like taking charge, and the other roosters don't even chase us anymore.
It's so nice.
So we're hoping that she takes him as well, and the rest we're processing. So
Rena Barnett said, "Hi, I'm new here too. Just found both channels.
welcome.
I'm in Oklahoma. I love you guys.
Aww.
You laugh so much. Definitely needed with the dumpster fire that our country is in right now." I hear you. So I'm a very type A person, and I for many, many years, my poor child, he had to grow up with this where I was just like, go, 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 go. And I was very serious, and this had to get done, and it had to get done fast, and I stopped having fun. And so one of the things that I was determined up here was, yes, I want to get things done, but not at the expense of enjoying life.
And we've always just had a lot of fun
really
together.
did, yeah.
So, Randy says, pig food good, pig meat good, tofu bad. He has like a vomit face. Tofu's not so bad as long because it takes up the flavor of whatever it's
So it's
cooked
like
with.
eggplant. Eggplant does that.
Yeah, so
Takes up
it's
the
a
flavor.
texture thing. I think people have a hard time with.
Well, we are getting ready to. I actually was going to do it today, but I didn't get to it today. Tomorrow we are culling most of the animals. It's a hard, not hard decision. One, because they were raised for food. It's really cold, so that's going to be hard. But so the 3 young goats are going, and the chickens they're at peak laying age. So rehoming them, they're not meat chickens, so you don't get like a lot of meat off of them. So that doesn't bother me. We've got, how many roosters are in there? How many did Colleen bring?
3, I think.
So then we've got 6.
Oh, I didn't count those ones. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got 6 roosters. So they'll all go in, and then we've got a whole bunch
No
of
politics,
rabbits.
guys. No politics.
Yeah, we don't really do politics. We like to stay friendly.
Yes. Please.
We are veterans,
Thank you,
and we
Tiffany.
believe everybody gets the opportunity to vote
and make their own decisions.
make their own decisions and live in their own bleh. Chloe, why are you staring at me? Come up here.
It's almost 6 o'clock. Any more questions, guys? Because we'll be getting off here soon because we're hungry.
That's funny.
And I think the dogs want something.
So Bernard asks, have you guys known each other for a long time? So Kimmy and I, like I said, we were in the service. We were stationed in Hawaii at 19 years of age.
In the Army.
In the Army. And we have known each other since then. And we've stayed in touch even when we got out.
And I would say we were pretty darn close friends back then,
Mhm.
even then.
Yeah.
She took me to the hospital when I went into labor with my
Yeah.
son because at the time my husband was out in the field, and so I was going to be alone.
And her son came and stayed a summer with me when he was 13. I made him do dog shows. So, I'm Aunt Heather and she's Aunt Kimmy, and
Yep.
yeah, we've just been friends. We've visited each other, throughout the years, and
Good night, Nancy.
I have to say, even though, we had all those years where we didn't live in the same state, I feel like we went right back to being like 18-year-olds and getting, it was like that whole, with maybe a little bit more intelligence under our belts.
I lived in southern Idaho, so this is
Yes.
what's so exciting to me is that she moved to Idaho. Not necessarily because of me, it was totally because of other things, but the fact is that she moved to Idaho and I'm from Idaho,
Yeah.
and she would come visit me in Idaho, so it was pretty exciting.
Yep. I had been, I actually bought a horse over here, closer to the Canadian border, but so I had driven through here in 2013, and it's the first-ish time that I had been up in this area. I'd been over to Coeur d'Alene, and it was, nice. It's a city to me. It's not as big as Boise, but it's a big city. It's going to be. They're all kind of blending together now, but, and I loved it up here. And it was actually March, and it was snowy, and it was cold, and it was all of those things. But it was just so beautiful. It was just so beautiful.
Yeah.
So, moving up over here was not a big deal.
Rena said it was because God meant for us to have adventures together.
I completely agree. My sister died when I was 20. So it was right after I got to Hawaii. She was in a car accident and died.
That was right after she lost her husband.
No, it was 2 years before.
Oh, it was before.
2 years before on the same day. Yeah, that's weird. That was.
Cornfed says hi.
Hi, Cornfed.
He was also stationed with us.
Is it Paul or is it Cornfed?
Yeah.
Who has the channel Cornfed?
Paul.
Oh, hi, Paul. Paul, funny enough, there's a guy that has a channel named Cornfed. And it makes me giggle every time. And he's subscribed to us. So no, I had two grandmothers pass away and then my sister. So that was all right in that. And then 2 years on the same day, my husband was also died in a car accident.
Bob says, do you ladies have taco stuff or chips and salsa?
We do.
Well, we have taco seasoning.
Yeah.
And we have plenty of hamburger, and we always have corn chips, and we often will make nachos.
Nachos is legit one of our
But we
favorites.
do have soft flour tortillas on a lot of them on hand as well, so that you can make a wrap of anything.
Right.
Your breakfast stuff, whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of, I think we have a big enough pantry that we would not starve, especially when the freezer gets full. We're definitely not going to starve.
Bob wants to make sure you have pew-pews for him.
Of course we have them.
That's a silly question.
Silly boy, tricks are for kids.
Anna's scolding Bob. You never know who's listening. Bob, don't ask those things.
Video
Hi,
those
Jody.
meals breakfast.
Hi, Jody.
So Alicia, I had started the Farm to Table channel, specifically for the cooking. And so I think those videos are all going to go on that channel. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure all of those are. I may do one for this one and then just be like, if you want to continue to watch more of this, go over to that other channel. Is probably what I'll end up doing. I did film some the other day, but I was in my pajamas, so nobody needs to see that.
Speaking of pajamas, I'm just going to warn you guys, we have an upcoming video, and it was, I just want to say, we really do pride ourselves on not being like some other channels that like to show a lot of skin and such like that.
Provocative.
Yeah. But it was the end of the laundry cycle, and all we literally had were leggings left. So when this video comes out, do not think lesser of us.
Don't judge us.
It was not that we were trying to. We literally just were out of clothes.
Yeah.
So.
Gosh, it had been
and they were just stinky enough that they were irritating us. We couldn't
wear
put those pants on one more time. We just could not.
Could not do it. So
welcome to our life, aren't we? This is why we're single.
Bye, Darla. Feed
Bye,
that man. We're hungry too, Darla. You making meatloaf? I need to make a meatloaf from goat meat, chicken, and rabbit, and pork.
Speaking of which, if you guys don't watch The Bearded Butchers,
Love.
they are amazing.
They're my favorites.
And if you ever want to know, you guys are always asking us for our wish list on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know what to get, the Bearded Butcher seasonings would be great.
Oh man.
Or coffee.
Coffee.
Both of those things.
Those two things are always a winner. You'll be our favorite.
Yes. Chasing Freedom Homestead. Heather and Kimmy, you two are in my thoughts and prayers. As I said before, stay warm.
Thank you,
Can't
Tiffany.
wait until we are back up there. Mexican dinners are in need with you both. Have a great evening. Love
Good
you,
night,
Brenda. Tell Matt and Isaac we say hi.
Yeah. You know, you guys, we're growing like crazy. For those of you that share the videos, thank you so much. It really does help. And you know, the other thing that really helps is watching as soon as the videos come out, like as early as you can. That first hour makes a big difference.
And
course, commenting and liking, because that tells YouTube, hey, we need to push this video. So,
and for those of you, I know specifically Tiffany and Susie, they comment a lot.
We love you.
And Robert,
Robert does,
and
yes.
I don't want to like miss anybody,
Yeah.
but for those of you guys that do that, we so greatly appreciate it. We know that it takes you guys time to do that, and it really does help our channels out. So.
It does help because we've been getting pushed. How many subscribers have you gone up?
I've
Would you
gone
say?
up over 50 in 7 days.
Mm.
So,
And this channel's gone up. I think we're right around like 150, 140 in the last few days.
which is amazing.
Yes.
God is like hearing our prayers. We've had some days that we get pretty discouraged. Things happen. They
Yeah.
don't go as we expect them to, and
Yesterday was one of those days.
it's really hard when you get in that funk and you're just, why did we not have a win ever?
Yeah.
But we just remember that God has all sorts of blessings, and we just have to look at them and see
Yeah.
them. So
And a lot of it's the frame of mind. This life.
Sil,
Hi, Sil. Glad you made it. This life is in the stage that we're in right now. Off grid, building, women, older women, we're like aged cheese, aged wine. I'm not wine because I don't drink. Like aged
and
cheese.
aged cheese.
Being the foodies that we are. This is difficult. This is, we're not,
Good night, Kira.
we're not super, super comfortable. Each year we've gotten more comfortable. We're moving a little bit slower because I'm learning as I go and those kinds of things. And
Same.
physically, we just need breaks. And so, we take them because this is what we do and we have to.
And honestly, there are days where you just need a day.
You need a day.
Like this is our job full time
Yeah.
every day, and even if we take the day off from like building or whatever we're doing, we still have chores to do. We still have wood to pull in. We still have snow to pull
We
off
still have
things.
to edit.
We still have animals. We still have
Yes.
to edit. We still have to do errands, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
I know I've kind of put together my list of, I really feel like the shipping container is going to be done this winter. So we're going to work here on the
1
inside.
second, Susie, I'll tell you in a minute.
We're going to be working on the inside here all winter long and finishing this up. So this project will be wrapped up, other than like in the summer, we'll probably, it's shaded back here so we can work back here in the midsummer. So we'll probably be doing the wraparound deck and getting the A-frame area, cleared and starting that and whatever. I totally forgot where I was going with that.
Susie wants to know what time we drop our videos. Hers come out at 9.
Mhm.
Mine come out right now at 2:30. I'm trying something new just because it's that way I have more time throughout the day to get everything done that I need to get done. Raina said a very awesome compliment.
Yeah.
That's why I'm loving your channel. I'm 50 years old as
Oh,
well,
yay.
and it's inspiring to see it getting done. So,
Thank you.
girl.
We it's so hard to be compared. We get a lot of, the You Can't Contain Us kids are getting this done, and the Life Uncontained, they're getting this done. And, Life Uncontained, I love them both. I watched them both. Life Uncontained took 4 years to build their shipping container tiny house. The You Can't Contain Us, her husband has mad skills.
And you got to
Like-
remember that these are couples that are a lot younger.
Yeah, they're in their 20s.
Have a man, which men are just
Men are stronger.
Even Randy, who's
Yes.
a little bit older than us, just a little,
Yeah.
is just
So
super
strong. It's just, he's so strong. And that's, and weird, like I was telling my son tonight, I am very strong for a woman. I am very strong for a woman of my age.
She really is.
And I've always been strong. I was born a strong baby. He is the same exact way. But I'm never going to be as strong as an average, the average man. I'm definitely stronger than some men. I'm not trying to be competitive in that
Yeah.
nature or whatever, but, man, Randy works circles around me. He works circles
Yes.
around me with his energy and his strength. And, I don't want to keep harping on that, but we were hurting this summer a lot. I mean, just a lot. Hopefully
Hi,
next
Susan.
year we'll have more equipment that we get to use, and we'll be able to rent more equipment and that kind of thing. So we'll be able to finish up some more stuff. But we're working on this in the summer. Oh, I was answering the barn question if we were going to work on that. So we're pretty much on hold because of the weather. It's just miserable. Some people work in this and they're fine with that. I just don't. I get too cold. But we will be going like gangbusters in the spring.
Susan Key says, love you too. Check your email for my Pink Panther.
Oh.
Anna
awesome.
says, I found that when I work really hard one day, I almost need a moderate day the next day.
I need like 2 or 3. I've honestly, and I think it's so. The first year that I was here, and I was basically here by myself, Kira was back and forth. I had the same shoulder issue, and I went to physical therapy for a year. And she's like, so when did you dislocate your shoulder? And I was like, I haven't. And she's like, I cannot believe you haven't. You are going to.
Tiffany, it's on our channels, on both of our channels under the description. The P.O. box is on there. Jody says, I admire you both so much. Living the hard life. Y'all have the best attitudes and great faith. Love you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You know, we really are having a good time. And I don't know if it's because of our time in the service or what, but
aw, thanks, Randy.
it's just kind of one of those things that we just.
He says he loves us.
Oh, I love you, Pops.
Pops, you're gonna make us cry.
You know, we just work through it. You just work through it, and you know, we are in a little bit of a survival mode right now. You know, because of the weather, because of the cold.
Tim has a comment which I think we should turn into a question. Are we going to set up the garden in the spring?
So we
Oh,
want.
thank you so much, Anna.
Oh, thanks, Anna. We
For
desperately.
Mexican food.
Ooh, thanks, girl. We desperately want to. I want a homestead so bad I can't see straight. I also want to get the barn finished, and I want to get the A-frame started. And so we're having to look at what's our priority for this next year.
And you know, and that being said, what do people want to see? You know, often people want to see the build a lot more than they want to see the garden stuff.
I do have to say that we will be doing a salad garden, so we'll fill those beds that we have.
Yeah.
We will fill them with stuff. We won't probably get any bigger than that. We'll definitely do some herbs. We'll definitely do a salad. You know, cherry, a couple of different types of cherry tomatoes because we both really like those on multiple stuff.
Yeah.
And then lettuces and probably a cucumber plant or whatever. But and then we'll get the greenhouse finished, and so we'll be able to work around just those beds being filled, not the center.
Right.
So we'll be able to work around that, get that finished, and then probably we'll be able to do a fall garden
Yeah.
and extend it in and see what we can get done. I love beets and kale and that kind of stuff. You know, so I mean, I would be throwing kale in my soups.
Yeah.
Every soup that we make, I'd be throwing kale in it. It's just so good
Same.
for you. And I really like it. So
Susie loves watching the barn and the milling, so
me too.
we enjoy
Love
doing
it. I
those.
just really love those days.
Yeah.
It's really hard in the summer because that's the hottest part on the property, the hottest spot. So it gets really hot there, and there's no shade, and you're in full sun. So something else, I really like where the sawmill is. So we will be doing a sawmill cover next year. It has to go in, and that way we are at least in a shaded spot while we're milling. It, you know, maybe extend it or something, but I definitely want to get a cover for the mill.
Yeah, that's so
Oh,
good.
so good.
So I think it's a good time to bring up, we are doing a live on the channel, on the Waking Up Country channel.
Yes.
On New Year's Eve, there's going to be prizes and games and pajama
We're
party.
calling it pajama party. We will
You
not.
guys can wear your pajamas.
Again, wear your pajamas. It will not be a provocative thing.
Baby onesies.
Yes. So you guys, we're trying to get Kim her hours.
Yes.
And we're trying to get her monetized. She's getting really close with her subscribers. And so by then, hopefully we'll be there. So if you haven't, please go over, those of you that are watching this after the fact, please go over and subscribe and come watch the live. We're going to have a really good time. We reserved a room at the Ruby. So we have good Wi-Fi. We'll be able to run it, the whole time. It'll be comfortable. It'll be good.
And we'll be doing it from West Coast to East Coast.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to do a live through each one. Well, thank you, Janet.
Oh, Janet, thank you so much.
You're the best. So it's going to be so much fun, and we'll have ways to fill the time and lots of things to do.
So I think we're gonna, so you guys can start thinking about it. I think we're gonna do like, we did that where they shot questions at us. Which one of you is this or that?
That's
whatever.
probably one of the games.
That'll be one of the games. So definitely think of like the questions were like, which one of you likes to cook? Which one of you sleeps early? Which one
snores louder?
Which one snores louder? Like those kinds of things. So we'll do some rapid fire rounds of those. If you guys can think of a game or something, definitely put it in the comments. We'll talk about, I really wanted to do some sawmilling live videos too, but the sawmills, it's down for the season. So next year we'll be doing sawmilling lives.
And if you guys are cleaning the house and you don't have anything better to do on your TV, throw one of our channels up there and just hit the replay. I think it's loop. And if you loop it, it'll just keep playing it over again. And we would, anything we can do to build up hours, and we greatly appreciate it.
So definitely.
CNC Farms, connected at Blissful Moments Farm, My Little Life Grid Homestead, and Backyard Homesteader. That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. We love doing these lives. We love hanging out. We love, answering specific questions that you guys have. I hope that you guys like the more in-depth answers to questions that we've gotten throughout the week. I think I'm going to continue that.
I also want to bring another thing up that that we've heard a couple people say, and we just want to address it. Sometimes if Heather just hearts it and moves on, it's not that she's blowing you off or doesn't want to answer.
Yeah.
It's either we're just really busy, we're exhausted, what have you. And honestly, if you have a question and it's not answered and she just hearts it, it might be coming up in a live. So look for your answer.
Or we might have a video coming out on it. So that is also.
So look for your answer on the live. It's not necessarily that we don't like you or we don't want to answer you, but there may be a reason. So, because we are getting a lot of comments.
And we love it. We love
do.
it, and I try. I'm always on there checking for more comments, and if I can answer them, I'm always the passenger in the truck, so I'm answering questions on that.
And she reads them off to me, so I am part of it. I can hear them.
So, and then, but we read every single comment. While we were sick, honestly, you guys, we were very, very, very sick, and it was not COVID, but it was, I feel like it was worse than COVID when we were sick. So I just did not have the energy to hold my phone up. And I'm not kidding. I'm not being dramatic about that. It just really was that. So, everybody just got a heart. And and I have you as the content creator, you have to heart it, even if you don't agree with it. Because otherwise it doesn't leave your comments section. So every time you get on there, you'll just continue to see it. So I know there was a couple of things that people were like, well, she agrees with blah, 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 because she's hearting his stuff and moving on. And it was like, you have to, or delete it. I either have to delete it or I have to heart it.
And if you have a disagreeable comment,
yeah,
sometimes it's easier than being like, these people. I'm just heart it and move on.
I'm just not going to allow somebody that space in my head because there can be, we've been very blessed with I think it's because we don't do politics and we try to stay very positive, and in general in life, whether we're being filmed or not, we try to stay very positive. It's kind of our motto. You know, but I think that attracts a more positive kind of person, and I feel that with you guys, as far as you know,
James
the people
Dean,
that we have. Hi, James.
He says, "Good luck this winter, and I enjoy watching your adventures."
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You know, we are kind of going into survival mode. I think, so when I showed our firewood stack and said we had 6 cords of firewood, that was the beginning of October. We started burning in October. No, we didn't burn in October.
No.
End of October we did.
Yeah.
And then November, but because our logs were so small, we burned through a lot very quickly. So
Rena says, "You're from Texas. The heart can absolutely mean ... Bless your heart.
Bless your heart. Yep.
Anna says, "If you want more time with them, join the members club."
Oh,
because
yes.
we do spend more time. We do have a members live.
So, okay, so I want to address something, because there's a channel that I love, and we love Life's, Ambition Strikes. They're good friends of ours. If you are not subscribed to them, go over and subscribe to Ambition Strikes. They are beautiful, beautiful people. And so they put out a video, and it showed on it for channel members only. And there were so many people that were really upset. Their feelings were hurt. And that's one of their perks, that their channel members get to view the video ahead of time, and then it gets released to everybody the next day. And I think that a lot of people don't understand what the membership is about. It's basically, then the way I heard it explained, which I thought was a really good explanation, was it's a way for people to tip us as content creators. And we're very grateful for those people that support us. It gives us an automatic income for the month, which is very helpful. It's paid for some gas cans for us to run our generator, and it's life-saving for us, and we really appreciate it.
And I would say that's that additional support, because you all support us, and you know, just watching that, without you guys, we wouldn't be doing this.
So
we couldn't do this.
You know,
so
watching, subscribing, liking, and commenting is so important, and it is the reason why we can do what we do. YouTube does pay us. You know, right now we don't make a lot.
No.
You know, you've got to have a whole lot of views to make a lot with YouTube. It is definitely a possibility, and you know, so that just little bit of extra. So for those people, we do a members only live on Thursdays. It's very laid back. It's in the middle of the day. It's at noon, and you know, it's just a little extra something that we can do. So if you want to be a part of that, join. There's all different, I think it's $1.99 up to whatever you want to give, and you know, we really do appreciate that a lot.
But we appreciate all of you for supporting us.
Mm-hmm. And I know every content creator, YouTuber that I know is exactly the same way. I'm just really surprised at how angry. I mean, people were vicious. They were vicious.
It was heartbreaking.
It was heartbreaking to read, because I personally know them. And then, you know, Mama Bear, I want to come out and be like, I'm whittling a toothbrush right now. I'm whittling it.
They are lovely.
They are such genuine people. And if you go over there, tell them we sent you. Tell them we said hi. But, you know, we live close to them, and they're actually going to be helping us out with a few things here in the future. And, you know, but we've known them now for over a year. Yeah, they had just moved up here, But it's not the first time. I've seen that happen with other channels too. Of
Courtney and Riley over
Yeah.
at Ambition Strikes.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure in my description of my videos, I have a link to their channel down in the other Idaho channels. So, but I guess
Haley.
I just want to. I think I want to explain it because I've seen that happen multiple times to different channels where people get mad and they're like, "Oh, so me subscribing doesn't matter," and it truly does because, but it's just a tip. It's like if I tip my barista or if I, tip the Hog Trough because they make really good sandwiches and we go through the drive-through and get a sandwich, you give $1 and that's kind of what the membership is about. I just thought that explanation was a really good one.
It is. It's we're going on an hour and a half.
Oh my gosh.
Rena says she just subscribed. You're the best.
Oh, you're the best. Thank you.
And make sure you get down in the comments and say,
You know
hey,
what's-
they mentioned you on the live.
Yeah.
Come on over.
You know what's really funny is about 70% of the people that watch the videos are not subscribed.
Yeah.
Is it the same on yours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You're like, you guys subscribe. It's free.
people get wrapped around the axle over the simplest things.
They
I think
do.
it's because we're all so stressed nowadays. You can't let it get you down.
Completely.
Absolutely. And honestly, and I can say this from experience. If you're having a rough life, you take it out on others around you, and it's sometimes hard to be kind when your world is falling apart.
Yeah.
And so you just have a little grace with those people, and but just a reminder,
Yeah.
we all need kindness.
Everybody's fighting a battle that you don't know about.
Exactly.
I mean, that everybody is. I know when my PTSD was untreated, when I first got out of the service, and there for quite a few years, I was very angry, and I was very
Thanks,
took
Mary.
it out. Thank you, Mary. Took it out a lot on a lot of random strangers, and they did not deserve that at all. And I think that's why now I'm so very conscious of not being reactive to to other people's struggles. So
Tiffany, thank you so much, honey. You're being
you're
such
fabulous.
a help.
You're fabulous, girl.
We're an hour and a half.
All right, well, we need some pizza.
I'm hungry. My stomach's like,
and I need to load the fire. We've been milking it, so it wasn't 500 degrees right now.
Get my phone out of there.
You're okay.
We love you all.
Thank you so
We
much
appreciate you all,
for hanging out and
Yeah.
all of those things.
and we'll see you soon.
Chloe's giving me the stare down. I don't know what that's about. So, good night, everybody.
Good night.